Bante,
Good evening, Mr. Ganipala.
evening. කොහොමද සැපසනීප හොඳයිද?
Sepasinipa Inuwa. Okay, so go ahead and begin with reciting the Namo Tassa in the three refuges. Just a moment, yeah. Prashant, can you spotlight me?
Sure, Bante, I'll get it.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dhammang saranang gacchami, Sanghang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami. So welcome, friends, to this Wednesday evening Dhamma discussion and meditation practice. So I hope that you all were able to receive the email I sent out on Tuesday with the link to the Salika Sutta that I have chosen to discuss tonight. So the Salika Sutta is number 8 in the Majjhima Nikaya. And it's translated by Bhikkhu Bodhi as effacement. And effacement is a word that's probably not that commonly used in English language. So you might have to look it up in the dictionary. But it has the meaning of kind of rubbing away or erasing things. But in this sense, in this sutta, it's about erasing or gradually rubbing away the defilements in our mind of greed, hatred, and delusion. Now, this sutta starts out by a monk who came to the Buddha one evening and, told the Buddha, well, I hope you read it, but I'll just review briefly, that, many views in the world, many of these ascetics and other Brahmins, they hold different views about the self and the world. And so he asked the Buddha, do people only have these views at the beginning of their meditation practice, or what? And basically the Buddha's reply was that no, even people who have been meditating for years and years and years, and even some people who have professed, to reach certain stages of, enlightenment, they can still have those views. Because, of course, the Brahmins in those days, they used to practice the formless jhanas. So all of those stages of the four form jhanas and the formless jhanas, even in the state of infinite consciousness and nothingness, the Buddha calls those pleasant abidings here and now. Due to the strength of one's concentration, one can concentrate the mind in such a way that one enters into these very exalted, expansive states of consciousness, but when they come out of it, it hasn't necessarily weakened the root of any of the sort of defilements, and especially the sense of self. Because a lot of Brahmins, their goal was to attain the Supreme Self, or various ways of explaining that, Brahman, union with Brahma. And that's basically just one of these higher kind of jhanas. So anyway, that was the Buddha's answer to this monk. And so they haven't really practiced effacement by practicing those jhanas. And this is the Buddha's point of view and the Dhamma point of view. That effacement comes about by actually in one's thoughts, speech, and actions, kind of weakening the sense of self, and then especially in practicing a right view and the four foundations of mindfulness, one develops the insight that sees the illusion of the self views and weakens the root of the wrong view. So anyway, that is how the Buddha is explaining in this sutta. It is said to be there's 44 different ways of practicing effacement, but so basically the practice of effacement, according to the Buddha and in the teachings of the Dhamma, is using he said, to prevent, to give up, to abandon the, let's say, taking of life, breaking the precepts. The precepts is what we have to overcome those actions. So to overcome killing, we practice non-killing. To overcome stealing, we practice giving and generosity, or non-stealing. To practice telling lies, we abandon that by practicing telling the truth. By practicing sexual misconduct, we replace that by practicing restraint or wholesome conduct. And so he goes through basically all of the precepts, and then he goes on to say, to overcome wrong view, we cultivate right view. To overcome wrong intention, we cultivate right intention. To overcome wrong speech, we cultivate right speech. And all the rest of the Eightfold Path, those wrong aspects of that practice, we use that to practice the right speech, right action, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. So he says, some people practice wrong concentration, we'll practice right concentration. Other people practice wrong mindfulness, we'll practice right mindfulness. like that. And that is his way of effacement, because in all of those, we are chipping away at the things that the ego is clinging to, clinging to our wrong views and clinging to our habits that bring us problems. So, and then he says the same thing for, the 5 hindrances. We overcome sensual desire by practicing, contentment. We practice ill will by practicing metta. We overcome sloth and torpor by practicing effort. We overcome restlessness by practicing calmness. So, like that, the Buddha keeps on repeating the same kind of phrases to include all of the, different lists of, mental factors, unwholesome mental factors and practices. And then, of course, in that way, we efface or we gradually rub away or erase the roots of those, negative actions, and also the root of the wrong views as we practice meditation. As you, give up those negative states of mind, then you gradually can reach deeper states of concentration in which your views, your insights, you gain insights into the nature of, illusion, and into the nature of, understanding more deeply the law of karma and so on. So that is way and ultimately effacement is really reached through attaining the 4 stages of enlightenment. So when one reaches the stage of the Sotapanna, that's when wrong view is effaced and right view takes its place, and doubts are overcome, and conviction and faith arises with that stage of the entering the stream. And with the successive attainments of the next 3 stages of liberation, then more and more of these defilements are effaced. That's the true effacement. So the main takeaway is that just practicing concentration to attain jhanas or for some other reasons, but without developing the insights into, anicca, dukkha, and anatta, into impermanence and no self or emptiness, then that is not really getting at the root of ignorance and overcoming, changing one's ability to live wholesomely and make progress in the Dhamma. Okay, so I hope you're able to read the sutta, because it's really, a lot of people, they study Dhamma and they just think meditation, and they hear some Dhamma talks and read some books, about the Buddha's teaching, but not actually reading, what the Buddha, the marvelous way that he, gave Dhamma talks to his followers, and the amazing ways that he could explain the Dhamma. So, that's why I'm trying to encourage you to do that by, sending out the links to these suttas and encouraging you to read them. Okay, now, if anybody has any questions on any of that, I see that it looks like there might be a chat here, a question. It says, So we can view this sutta as a blueprint for all the unwholesome and wholesome views a yogi has to mature or might need relinquish before reaching stream entry, similar to the 37 factors of enlightenment. You may not have to remove all of them, but to attain stream entry, but certainly you have to overcome the view of self. You're still going to have the ego. Even a Sotapanna and once returners have the sense of self still there in the back of their mind as an ingrained habit, but they know it's an illusion. That's the main thing. They know it's an illusion, but it's so deep rooted that the sense of self persists until the attainment of actually final enlightenment. So, you don't have to remove all of your defilements to reach stream entry, but those, at least the doubts, the belief in a self, doubts and attachment to rites and rituals, these are the ones you have to relinquish to attain stream entry, and the rest of them come in due course. This next question. Others will be cruel, we shall not be cruel here. Others will kill tourists in Kashmir, we shall abstain from killing those killers. Some people heard these teachings and figured being cruel and killing have no immediate consequences. That's true. There are some beliefs, and again, this is a wrong belief, that there's no result of karma in the actions. So, there's no result of killing others and or telling lies and the rest of the unwholesome actions. Those are wrong views. Now, this final part of this question, is it practical for all people to practice these teachings, or are these only directed towards monks? Now, of course, monks, people have become monks, hopefully, for, wanting to follow a different way of life, and that understand, the law of karma and so on. So, but no, all people, anybody that wants to attain happiness, it should be practical for them. But some people are not going to be able to do it perfectly. That's why, not everyone is going to attain full enlightenment or liberation in one life, even though theoretically it could be possible, but on the practical level, probably, people are going to take more than, 1 or 2 lifetimes in following the path. What does wrong deliverance and right deliverance mean in this sutta? Is this one of the 5 hindrances? No, actually, the Eightfold Path, you're all familiar with the Noble Eightfold Path. So, but actually there's a 10-fold path. The Eightfold Path takes you up to right concentration. And through the right concentration, the right deliverance means attaining stream entry, once returning, never returning, and arhatship. That's the meaning of right deliverance. And so wrong deliverance is just reaching some jhanas and or the formless jhanas, and you could be misled in thinking you've gotten enlightened, and it's true. Many people having attained those formless jhanas, come out of it, and they convince themselves that they would have attained enlightenment. So, from the Buddhist point of view, that is wrong deliverance. So it's not, it is a hindrance, but it's not one of the, specifically one of the five hindrances. There's another sutta that talks about the Mahachattari Sutra talks about the tenfold path in right knowledge and right deliverance. So we've covered that before in some of my other Dhamma talks. This next question. In the US, there's a lot of turmoil at the moment and concern over civil rights. What advice do you have for us? How can we engage mindfully to protect the rights of the people while still following the Dhamma? Now, this is a very important question, and it's out of compassion, out of loving kindness and compassion, in the practice of Dhamma, we try to follow the Dhamma and try to help as much as we can in terms of righting injustices and so on. But the Buddha made it very clearly, whatever you do, you should not sacrifice your Dharma practice. So you can join protests, but not violent ones, and or you can vote for by voting in the elections. We can try to elect people that may want to follow a better path. But you can see in this last election, we elected people that don't care a lot about the rights of others and so on. So there's a big movement now in trying to overthrow that, but not to sacrifice one's own state of mind. So you can join protest movements or write letters or donate to certain causes, if that's what one wants to do. But you have to realize that anything that you do, when you start to, antagonize others or speak against others, or you're naturally going to stir up emotions, and there could be some repercussions for that. Now, if one is willing to accept that, then then that's up to each person. But the Buddha's advice was, not to, whatever you're doing, not to sort of break the precepts and so on that are going to, entangle you in more, problems. Can we say that ignorance is not understanding right view? Absolutely. Yes, ignorance is the opposite of right view. Ignorance means not understanding the Four Noble Truths, not understanding suffering, the cause of suffering, the cessation of suffering, and the way leading to the cessation of suffering. All that is considered wrong view and the root of ignorance, because when we don't understand suffering and the cause, we keep entangling ourselves deeper and deeper into the web of karma, and then it gets harder and harder to, unravel that net of, actions. Because the more we take actions on our ignorant views and so on, then we dig ourselves deeper and deeper. I mean, we can see that by so many the people who are, in the news for the wrong reasons, people that are clinging to their views and causing a lot of problems, and they get angry to others who are trying to do the opposites. So anyway, friends, looks like that's all in the chat. Is there anybody is there a golden hand up there? Okay, Dragon Yogi, you have a question?
Not a question, Bunty, but to bring some perspective to one of our teachers taught us was harmonious perspective, no conflict, and follow the precepts.
Bhante Punaji, right?
Yes.
He was one of my first teachers too. Yes, harmonious perspective. Harmonious perspective, harmonious intention, harmonious speech, action, livelihood. Yeah.
And no conflict.
Well, when you follow the harmonious views, then your conflicts dissolve, because it's the self that is clinging to its views and creating conflicts. So the harmonious view is the view of no self, and so
that's a tough nut to crack in our culture.
Yeah, it is, because it's all based on the self, especially in this capitalistic societies, materialistic societies. That you can't succeed in that unless you have the sense of self.
And you can see the dukkha wrapped around it.
Oh, yes. Well, yeah, you're lucky if you see the dukkha. Some people don't see the dukkha. But, yes. So, Kimberly, you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question, but just first a comment. I have been going to some protests, and before I started practicing about 5 years ago, if I went to a protest, I was just angry all the time, and I'm not as angry as I once was. So, but my question is, I've been meditating for about 5 years, and I've really been stepping it up the last year and a half, but I don't really feel like I gain any brilliant insights when I'm doing it. But sometimes I'll be driving down the road and now something will come up. Does that mean that I'm making some type of progress?
Yeah, you have insights. That's true. When you're actually in meditation and you're trying to concentrate, you may not always have, so-called good meditations or some insights, although you do also. But in the meditation, when you gain some concentration and you get relaxed and so on, that helps to bring things up from the unconscious. And then so when you come out of meditation and during the day, some incident could just trigger off what had come up toward the surface, and as an insight, even when you're doing something. There's all kinds of Zen stories about Zen monks, nuns who, they strive and they meditate hard in retreats, and then, but for a lot of them, things happen in the daily life when they were just working and things that would just, trigger off, open the mind up, even like stubbing one's toe or whatever, falling down. It's because of the work you put in before that sometimes some incident in the daily life could trigger off these insights. So that is progress. So, even though you may not think that you are gaining progress, when you meditate, let's say you've been meditating many months, years even, And, you're making progress because you're still doing it, because if you weren't, you wouldn't do it. And so sometimes the progress isn't these big bangs, great insights. It's very subtle things. And sometimes they're so subtle, we don't know we're changing. But then after a long time, you realize, oh my gosh, yeah, I've changed. So that is progress in the Dhamma, not necessarily all these attaining jhanas that everybody talks about, or gaining stream entry and so on. Of course, those are kind of, will come in due course, but not everybody will do that. And especially people that are involved in the world, they might not have those deeply profound states in meditation. But the fact that you observe precepts, and by cultivating taking time out, whether it's 30 minutes a day, or doing the M&Ms, for example, that I've always talked about, those things, that has an effect on your consciousness, but it's not the dramatic effects that people talk about sometimes when they say, oh, I attained the second jhana, or this and that, or they saw some visions, or, white light, and so on. So, everyone is different. Says Bhante Rahula has raised his hand. Okay, I think that's
but
Prashant.
sorry, I'm logged into your account. So, Bhante, so you mean that, so like how those habits and insights are related? So like based on insights, we have better habits, means like better following of the precepts. So they are interlinked, basically they correspond to each other.
Yes, of course. As you meditate, you're going to stop doing things that make your meditate more difficult, because the hindrances are there. You come up with ill will, you come up with a sensual desire, these thoughts, you come up with other negative thoughts toward others, and so on. And you can see how the actions and not following the precepts, or not doing daily meditation, that the mind starts to fall back. You lose that edge. So, the daily meditation practice helps you, to lose that desire to, be angry all the time, or to want to waste your time watching just foolish things or doing frivolous stuff, and so on. So little by little, you notice that you're not so nervous so much anymore, not getting upset so much when things don't go your way, a little bit of equanimity. So all these things are progress on the meditation path. And if you stop meditating, because I've talked to many, many people over the years, and they go for some reason, they got sick, or they had some other traumatic thing happen in their life with their family or themselves, and they kind of little drop meditation off for a long period of time, and then they noticed that their mind went backwards. They can definitely notice that. And so, then that's why people then they try to come back and restart their practice over and over again. So it's better to try to develop a regular practice, and and develop that the aditana. Actually, I'm going to be giving a talk on aditana, or the determination, and the resolve to practice on a website in a couple of weeks on Monday night on another website, and I'll tell you about that later.
Thank you, Bante.
Okay. So, friends, I think that may be enough for this discussion. Thank you for your good questions. So now let's take a short break, get ready to come back to do some stretches, some deep breathing and some stretches, and then have our meditation practice. Okay? I'll see you back in a few minutes. Okay, friends, just try to stand straight. Relax your shoulders and arms at the sides. Keep the chin lifted up level with the floor. Gently close your eyes. Just feel your feet pressing the ground. Feel that weight of the body pressing feet in the floor. Feel your arms and hands hanging at the sides. Feel the clothing touching the skin, shoulders, arms, chest. And feel your head balanced on top of the neck. And feel your eyes resting in the socket. Let's try to feel that outline of the standing body. And begin some deep, slow breathing. Some 3-part breathing. If you know what that is. Drawing the air from the lower lung up to the upper chest while developing this mindfulness. Breathing in, letting go of the past and future. Breathing out, standing here and now. Breathing in, letting go of the past and future. Hold the breath a couple of seconds. Breathing out, standing here and now. Breathing in, feeling the whole body. Breathing out, feeling the whole body. Now we're going to combine this breathing with these movements. So on the next in-breath, raise the arms over the head. Interlock the fingers, turn the palms up, straighten the arms, stretch up. Stretch your head back, look at the back of your hands. And release the fingers, the out breath. Lower the arms back to the sides. Feel the last bit of air go out as the arms lower down. Again, in breath. Stretch up. Bend back a little. Feel the arch in the lower spine. Out breath. Once more, in. Stretch up. Bend back a little more. Feel the sensation. Out breath. Just keep feeling the body. Feel the increased sensations, especially in your fingers and the hands. Feel the outline of the standing body. Remember the present moment. Standing, standing. Letting go of your thoughts. Let the thoughts come and go in the back of the mind. Keep the sensations of the standing body in the front of the awareness. Clothing touching the outer skin, subtler life force sensations under the skin. Okay, next, on the in-breath, lift up on the balls of the feet while raising the arms over the head, face the palms toward each other, stretch up. Out breath, come back down, feel the air going out of the lungs as the arms come back down to the sides. On the in-breath, let the in-breath help lift up the body, like blowing up a helium balloon. Stretch up. Out. Once more, in. Stretch. Out. And the last bit of air go out. Just relax. Keep feeling the body. Feel subtle vibrations, increased sensation. Feel the outline of the body, standing. Letting go of your thoughts. Keep the mind in the body. And next we'll do the side bending. On the in-breath, raise both arms up. Keep the fingers and arms straight, close to the head. On the out-breath, bend over the right side. Keep the arms and hands parallel to each other like railroad track. In-breath, lift up. And next out-breath, bend the other side. In-breath, lift up. Again to the right, out-breath. In, out. Once more to each side. The out-breath, lower the arms. Just keep feeling the body, the outline of the body, clothes touching the outer skin, head on top, arms at the sides, feet pressing the floor. Remember standing, standing, standing. Next we'll do the knee bending. On the in-breath, you lift up on the balls of the feet while raising the arms up front for balance. On the out-breath, bend the knees and lower down, balancing on the balls of the feet. Come down as far as you can in the squatting position. And take a deep breath, feel the muscles in the legs pushing the body up on the toes. And out breath. In. Once more, out. Out breath, relax. Feel the increased heartbeat, other sensations. Remember standing, standing, feeling that outline of the body in the mind's eye. those different life force vibrations. Okay, now spread the feet apart, about 3 feet. Holding the arms out, we'll do twisting from right to left. Give the spinal column a lateral twisting. We'll breathe in. On the out breath, twist to the right. Keep your eyes focused on the breath, going back. The in breath, come back to the front. And let your feet turn with the body, then twist to the other side, out breath. In breath, front. Keep alternating sides with the breathing. Once more to each side. Come back to the front. Relax. Feel each foot pressing the floor. Feel the arms and hands hanging at the sides. Feel the clothing touching the skin. Feel all the different life force vibrations. Feel the head on top. Feel all the sensations on your face. Lips touching together. The eyes and the sockets. The more sensations you can feel and get you out of your thoughts, out of your head into the body, standing. Now we're going to do alternate toe touching, putting the arms out at the sides again. So breathe in. On the out breath, bring the left arm across and down to touch your right knee or as far down as you can reach toward your foot. Keep the other arm over your head. Turn the hand so you look at the palm of your hand over the head. Carefully come up on an in-breath. And do the same thing on the other side, right hand to the left knee or foot. Look up at the other hand over the head. In-breath, come up. Just keep alternating sides like that with the breathing. Try to stretch a little bit further each time. You're on your own with the breathing. And once more to each side. We'll hold it a little longer, third time. Come up. Relax. Just feel each foot pressing the floor. With the hands and fingers. Clothing touching the skin. Feel the head on top. The eyes and the sockets. You now place the hands together at the chest. On the in-breath, raise the hands over the head. On the out-breath, lower the hands to the chest and bend the knees, lower the body down. And keep the back upright. Feel the stretch in the hips and knees. In-breath, lift up, hands over the head. Stretch up. In out-breath, come down a little farther. In. Out. The out-breath, arms back to the sides, close the eyes. Feel the outline of the body exactly as it is, here and now. Body-centered awareness. Do one last exercise. Forward and backward bending. The hands touch the front of your legs. Breathe in. On the out breath, bend forward. Let the hands slide to your kneecaps. Keep the head up, looking out straight ahead. Try to flatten the spine. Legs straight. In breath, lift up. Move the hands under the buttocks for support and carefully bend back on the out breath. The eyes open, look at the ceiling. With the arch of the spine. In breath, carefully lift up. In the next out breath, bend forward, let the hands come below your knees. just stretching the back of your legs. In breath, again, the back bend, just be careful. Bend back a little more. In, lift it. And the third time, let the hands come down as far as you can towards your ankles or feet. Then hold on that position longer. Let the little bones in the lower spine stretch out. Feel all those sensations in the legs and spine, other sensations. The in-breath, carefully lift up. Once more, the back bend, just be careful. Out breath. In-breath, lift up. On the out breath, just relax your shoulders and arms at the sides. Close the eyes. Feel the outline of the body. Each foot pressing the floor. Hands at the sides, clothing touching the skin. Head balanced on top. This body as it is, here and now, present moment, body-centered awareness. And now bring the legs and feet back. Stand straight, feel the whole body. We'll do one last simple exercise, turning the head from right to left with the breathing. On an in-breath, turn your head to the right. Feel a twist in the neck. Look over your right shoulder. On the out-breath, turn the head all the way back to the left. Let go of the left shoulder. In-breath to the right. Concentrate into the neck vertebrae. Imagining, feeling them loosening up. Out-breath, lift. Once more, in-breath to the right. Out-breath, lift. On the in-breath, let the head stop in the center. And just feel the whole body. You should feel like you're standing on a vibrating machine, feeling all those vibrations from the soles of the feet up to the top of your head. Present moment, body-centered awareness, natural awareness. First stage of any deeper meditation, centering the awareness in the middle. Okay. Let's come back and get ready for the sitting. Okay, friends, so get comfortable in the meditation posture. If you're sitting in a chair, just have your feet flat on the floor. Try not to lean back on the seat. Try to sit with a straight back. Try to feel the natural inward curve of the lower spine. Just keep your chin lifted up level with the floor. Just feel your head balanced on top. Just feel your eyes in the socket. From that point on the eyes, start to feel the general outline of the sitting body. Head on top, arms at the sides, hands touching together, buttocks and feet pressing the floor. Try to hold that outline of the sitting body in the mind's eye, the eye of awareness. Then begin taking some 3-part breaths with deep, slow breathing, taking 2 or 3 seconds to expand your abdomen, rib cage, and upper chest. Hold the air in the lungs for 2 or 3 seconds to get all the air out into the bloodstream, and slowly breathe out. Feel the last bit of air go out in the lungs on the out breath. And then the next in breath is cultivating this basic mindfulness. And breathing in, letting go of the past and future. Hold the breath a second. Breathing out, Sitting here and now, feeling the last bit of air go out. Breathing in, letting go of the past and future. Breathing out, sitting here and now. Breathing in, feeling the whole body. Breathing out, feeling the whole body. Now we're going to count the breaths from 1 to 10. Develop a more concentration on the breathing. I'll do the counting for you. Just try to follow that with counting with your breathing and concentration. With the next expanding in breath, mentally count to 1. Hold the air in a second. And with the outgoing breath, also count to 1. Feel the last bit of air go out. Next in breath, 2. Out breath, 2. In 3. Out 3. In 4. Out 4. In 5. Out 5. In 6. Out 6. In 7. Out 7. In 8. Out 8. In 9. Out 9. In 10. Out 10. When the breath goes out, don't deliberately try to breathe again. Let the breath relax. You pause 1 or 2 seconds, let the breath come in on its own. Discontinue the counting. Discontinue any controlled breathing. Keep the attention focused there in the center of the body. Feel the residual expanding and contracting sensation. Especially try to feel where the clothing rubs against the skin of the abdomen, stomach, rib cage, or chest. It expands and contracts. Just make that the full focus of your concentrated awareness. Just tune into the 4 phases of each breath cycle. The expanding in breath and the brief pause. The contracting out breath and the brief pause. Just try to feel like being a scientist looking down through a microscope, observing an experiment. Just observing this experiment of breathing, this body. This body is kept alive through the breathing. Breathing in life-sustaining oxygen. Breathing out carbon dioxide, lactic acid, other impurities. To help stay focused and to remember, you can use these brief mental reminders of in sitting, out sitting, in sitting, out sitting. Just developing mindfulness and concentration, breath by breath, moment by moment. Just letting go of your thoughts. Just let the thoughts come and go in the back of the mind. Just keeping this breathing body in the front of the awareness. Especially be alert to feel the pauses between the breaths. Sometimes they're longer, sometimes shorter. Those pauses between the breaths, feel the outline of the sitting posture, feel those subtle vibrations of the present moment. In sitting, out sitting. This breathing body is the mind's natural connection to the present moment awareness. We lose that connection in the breathing body, and the mind either goes to sleep or gets carried away in various thoughts, emotions. This breathing in the body is the anchor for the mind to the present moment. Also, all the sensations of the body. Even while feeling the breathing, you can feel other sensations coming and going in the body. Feel the clothing touching the skin in the background. Prickly sensations, maybe some aches or pains, itches. The breathing is always going in and out in the middle. And be alert for thoughts trying to sneak in to steal your attention away. If you find yourself lost in thoughts, recognize it as lost. Take a deep breath, bring the mind back into the body, back to in, sitting, out, sitting. In, sitting, out, sitting. Still have too many thoughts. Come back and do some more regulated, deep, slow breathing. Help keep the mind and the body. Just keep turning up the power of the mental microscope to notice more and subtler details, sensations in the breathing body. Just opening up to the flow of impermanence. Just noticing how quickly everything is just changing. So many sensations, sounds, thoughts. Going through that space of breathing body awareness. If any hindrances arise, try to apply the appropriate antidotes to overcome those hindrances. In sitting, out, sitting, keep coming back to reground, recenter in the breathing body. Just contemplate this body and mind as this being the five aggregate material vibrations, feelings they produce, the perceptions, thoughts triggered off. Be aware of the sense of I in the back of the mind. sense of self. Sense of self or I is just a deeply ingrained illusion created by the mind, caught up in past and future thoughts, identification. And from time to time, do some deep, slow breathing. Help keep the blood charged up with oxygen. Still stay awake, alert in the flow of impermanence. Seeing how quickly certain thoughts or sensations just arise and vanish. Now, friends, let's spend the last few minutes of the meditation in cultivating thoughts of metta or friendliness to our own body and mind, and sharing that outward with all other beings. So again, just try to do some deep, slow breathing. Just keep watching your own body and mind sitting there. Take a deep breath, hold the air in your lungs for as long as you comfortably can. Try to feel or imagine all that oxygen in the lungs going out into the bloodstream, being carried to all the cells of the body. And on the out breath, feel that relaxation of the body and mind into the present moment. As you're doing that breathing, just imagine that oxygenated blood going out to all the cells of the body as being the metta, sending metta to your own body and mind, while cultivating this train of thoughts. May I be well, peaceful, and wise. May I be free from excessive attachment and greed, anger or hatred, ill will, fear, and ignorance. May I be free from the self-created sufferings of body and mind due to such wrong views and unskillful thought, speech, and actions. May I also have the patience, strength, mindfulness, and wisdom to meet and overcome all difficulties in life. May I be able to continue to deepen my practice of meditation and understanding of the Dhamma to help free the mind from pain, unnecessary pains and sufferings. May I be well, peaceful, and wise. Now, if you can, just try to continue doing some deep, slow breathing, and with each out-breath, imagine these same types of metta thoughts going outward to all the people you might be living with, or that you see every day in work or in the shops. So ordinary folks are trying to make ends meet, but encountering all kinds of problems. And may all of them be well, happy, and peaceful, free from greed, hatred, fear, and ignorance, free from the self-created pains and sufferings of body and mind due to their unskillful karmic thoughts and actions. May they also have the patience, strength, mindfulness, and wisdom to meet and overcome all difficulties in life. If they haven't already, may they also have the opportunity to hear the teachings of the Dhamma, to learn and practice meditation, to help free the mind from self-created suffering. May they be well, peaceful, and wise. Now, in a more general way, with each out-breath, just imagine these metta thoughts going outward in all 10 directions across the whole country, across the oceans, surround the whole earth with these thoughts of friendliness, best wishes, wisdom, with the idea that may all living beings, wherever they might be, living near or far away, visible or invisible, the rich or the poor, weak or the strong, famous or the obscure, those with power and those without power. May all living beings be well, happy, and peaceful, free from greed, hatred, fear, and ignorance, free from the pains and sufferings to themselves and others through their unskillful thoughts, speech, and actions. May all beings have the opportunity to hear the mind-healing teachings of the Dhamma and to learn and practice meditation to help free their minds from self-created suffering. May all beings be able to live peacefully and harmoniously together, understanding the ultimate interconnectedness and interdependence of all things. May all beings be well, peaceful, and wise. May all beings be well, peaceful, and wise. Just like a mantra reverberating throughout space. Well, peaceful, and wise. I invite you to join in chanting the word sadhu on a long out breath. So to feel those vibrations in the body and mind. So take a deep breath. Sadhu. Breathe. Sadhu. Breathe. Sadhu. Now mindfully place your hands at the edge of your knees. Take one more deep breath as you breathe in. Stretch your head back. Pull the hands against your knees to arch the spine back. Feel the sensation. Lift the head up on an in-breath, and on the out-breath, press the chin to the top of the chest. Stretch the neck vertebrae. Lift the chin up level on an in-breath. And relax on the out-breath. Put a smile on your face. Okay, friends. I hope you're able to have a good meditation. And during the next week, try to practice some of those forms of effacement whenever any unskillful thoughts come into the mind. Counter those negative thoughts with the opposite wholesome thoughts or actions. And so, till next week, be well, be safe, be mindful, be wise. And Namo Buddhaya.
Namo Buddhaya.
Practice
Sadhu.
your
Sadhu.
M&Ms during the week, every hour. Try to stop for a minute, come back to the present moment. Feel the vibrations of the body.
Teruvan Saranai.
Namo Buddhaya.
Namo Buddhaya.
Buddhaya.
Sarvadhu